EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Two teams that met in Super Bowl 35 down in Tampa. The Ravens and Giants are underway. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. They'll start with a run by Tracy. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Tracy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Block off of play action. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. To throw it is Locke. And that is incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they have exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. In motion, Slayton. They'll go for it. It's Locke. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Giants go on 4th but come up empty. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 43. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. To about the 48-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down, they go again with Henry. And some room to work. Down the right sideline. And he will finally be taken down at the Giants' 9. 48 yards rushing for him now at his first 2 carries of the ball game. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it with Henry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And just shutting him off there. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That good for 22 and a first down. The safeties were well back there, and he had a lot of room. Were they in the cover too?
Yeah, they were, and the safeties were back. You know, usually they're 12 to 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, somewhere around the hash mark for each of them. But what also happens if the linebackers dive into the line, if you block them initially, that blocker can come off of them and get up to the safeties on the second level, and now you've got a big place to run the football.
Tracy going to get it on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Right back to Tracy. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. Locke going to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. On the give, it's Tracy. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack. And
this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time, let's keep doing it until they stop us? Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
From the gun, Jackson flushed out right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
Jackson from the shotgun. Escaping the pressure right. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Second down from the 8. They can get a first down by reaching the 5. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. It's Deonte Banks with it. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Just the 1 touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Henry again on 2nd down. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 65 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded it. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
They'll hand it to Tracy. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. On the run is Tracy. Fights loose. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it, right? And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown from 19 yards away. And the Giants take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point try good by Gano. And we are tied at 7. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. Now, a quick throw there is incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Jackson now. And he fires one, but incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
4th down, here's Jackson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up, because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 80 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
You're kidding me! Really? Are you kidding me?
2nd down and 4. Jackson. This will go to Henry out wide. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. And an excellent job of finding the opening, as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now Jackson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping it for the sack. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to break our fourth quarter tie. And Tucker missed it left. Normally reliable, this time no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range. Gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. Right back to him on first down. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
On the ground, here comes Tracy. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Singletary is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here now, second and goal. Again, it'll be Singletary. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. Now it's Tracy. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Giants have broken our tie and have taken a fourth quarter lead. Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Here's first and 10. Jackson. Flush to his right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Now Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And the Giants have just about sewn up this football game. So they took their shot. It was a pretty good. First opened in 2017. There's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from Atlanta. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll throw with Penix. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. That continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Penix. And caught by London. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there.
Here's Penix. At That's out wide here for Robinson. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
It's a first down following a gain of 3.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Back to Robinson now on first down. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And looking to throw, Penix. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. To the air, Penix. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The veteran Kyle Van Noy in there to drop him.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Now this now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. Looking to throw, Penix. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, 2nd quarter action. The Falcons with the football, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Koo knocks this one to the post. And the Falcons are on to a 3-0 advantage. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't rip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Jackson and the Ravens come up now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got his man. It's Andrews. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Now 2nd and 3. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
My high school football coach was very fond of saying, you've got to meet force with force. And on a short yardage running play, that's what you're going to encounter. And how about them picking up the 1st down on that one?
Throwing is Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Penix. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Second and 5. And now an audible here into something else. On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Penix working out of the gun here. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
They had enough yards for the 1st down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No 1st down.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. Here's Penix. That's to his running back, complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
and both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Boy, that ball's just hanging up there waiting to be intercepted. That looked doomed from the start, but they took the deep shot anyway, and fortunately, it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Penix to the air once more. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. And we'll see Younghoe Koo now for the Falcons. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. Koo knocks this one through the post. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So, Charles, they get to their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you get the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with a little under a minute remaining, we'll see if they want to try to put a drive together, possibly even take the lead here with a touchdown. Throw caught by Flowers. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down. Here's Jackson to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Operating from the gun, Penix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They're going to look to throw. KhaDarel Hodge has it complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers.